Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Miss Keisha, and welcome back to my channel. I'm a little under the weather, as y'all can hear and see, but I just wanted to come and say that I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. New Year is next week, and I'm praying for not only myself, but for everybody to have a great 2026. To those that follow me on social media, um, know that 2 weeks ago, my wife and I went on a vacation. We went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and the first 2 days of the cruise, we left here, Houston, on Sunday to go to Miami, and the cruise didn't sell out to that Monday. So Monday and Tuesday was cool. We didn't, that was a sea day, so we just basically stuck around the ship and, you know, ate and played Uno and just, chilled out. Um, but Wednesday, once we made it to port, and I finally got phone signal. I wake up to back to back text messages um, from my brother's wife telling me to call my brother. And the way the messages came across was they were urgent that I call, you know. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm on vacation. Do I make this call or not? But I did text before I called. And of course, she kept saying to call my brother. Just call my big brother. So I sacrificed and made the call. I think domestic, not domestic, international calling is 25 cents a minute. At least that's what the text message was I got. Hold, please. Okay, I'm back. So the text messages, I think I left off saying with the, making a phone call. And I had got a text message from T-Mobile stating that it was 25 cents per minute to make calls. So I made the call, and I called my brother just to, because I'm like, what's going on, you know? But wait a minute, let me back up. So one of her text messages, I don't know what order that she texted me, but I know the order that the messages came in. And the first one was to call my big brother, and then another one came through saying, asking me when did I come back from my trip. Now, mind you, it's Wednesday. I don't come back home until Friday. So I'm texting, asking questions like, is everything okay? And she says no. So I make the sacrifice to call my brother. Call my brother. And first thing out my mouth, usually when anybody texts me and there's a sense of urgency, my first thing I ask is everything okay? Because when I tell you nobody reaches out to text me or call me or check on me, and when you finally do reach out, I'm automatically thinking something is wrong, So, I asked him, was he okay? And he was like, yeah, but not really. And I could kind of tell he was hesitant because I guess his wife informed him that I was on vacation. And I think he didn't want to tell me to ruin my vacation. But he told me. And of course, I immediately just broke down in tears because I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? you know? So I talked to him for about 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes. I was like, I was just gonna have to eat the bill when it comes, and that was it. Because again, I'm getting these text messages as like it's a sense of urgency. Um, so basically, my vacation was ruined from that Wednesday until we got back home. And yes, I know I'm looking a mess, but it is what it is. I feel terrible. So my one of my aunts and my two cousins knew that I was on vacation, and it's weird because I didn't think to check the family group text chat on WhatsApp because usually, it's not much chatter in there. So once I got off the phone with my brother of getting the bad news, I seen that I had notification from WhatsApp in the group. And one of my cousins that initially got the phone call about my brother told me to call him. But then, like a minute or two later, my aunt that knew I was on vacation told me, never mind. Had I read those messages as well, like before I made this call, I wouldn't have called. So, fast forward to getting back home. Um, we got back home Friday night after we picked up the dogs from one of my cousins that knew I was on vacation's house. We made it home by 10 o'clock, and me and my mind wasn't thinking to pick up the phone to call nobody to let, those that needed to know I was back. Well, by now, everybody knew I was back or coming back on Friday. So I think that Saturday morning, I was supposed to have went to the VA cemetery to be there for the wreath laying ceremony for my dad, but I was too mentally and emotionally drained, so I was just like, okay, I'll just wait and go another Saturday. So I called my brother that I originally spoke to on the phone when I was on the ship, and now mind you, this is after I got back. So by that Saturday, everything, the funeral services had already been planned. So I was like, okay, the day after Christmas. And I get it and I understand because the VA does not do funerals on the weekends. So it had to be during the week. So just imagine sitting at work and at home waiting for this one day to come, and it's just dragging. And in my mind, I was thinking it's going to be, easy peasy, quick service, because not many in our family knew anything about this brother. Um, so it was like by us not knowing anything, it wasn't gonna be a long drowned out service, and it wasn't. It was about maybe so the viewers from 10 to 10:55, and then the actual service was from 11 to I think I can't the program over there, but I can't remember. But I know we was done by 12 or 12:30. So once you load in the cars, go to the grave site. Everything is well. I'm sorry. Let me back up. So in between the time of the viewing and the actual service, my brother's wife, she got on this outfit, and I'm trying to figure out why the fuck she looked like either a reject Dream Girls or Charlie's Angels or something. I'm gonna insert a picture here. But I'm just trying to figure out why you felt the need that it was okay. How did you feel like it was okay to wear this outfit to a funeral? I know that wasn't the only black outfit you have in your closet. But you would have sworn that she was the funeral director and had her license or certificates or whatever the way she was conducting herself. And now let me give you a little bit of backstory about this lady. Don't When I tell you nobody in my family likes her, nobody likes her. And it's been this way. They've been married since I want to say 1990, 1991. And here we are in 2025. That's a very long time to be married to somebody, right? But she was just everywhere, like she was moving and going. It's like you could see these fucking bat wings and this fucking hair. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this out because I think it's gonna make me feel better than I did before I picked up the camera. But it was just like, okay, so our other brother doesn't live here. He lives in Minnesota, and he was staying with my nephew. So they hadn't made it by the time it was time for us to line up to walk in as a family. So I was like, well, let me call them to see where they are because, you know, we got to get started. And black people are always on CP time. I don't give a damn what it is. You know. So I called and he said that they was like 5 minutes away. They had just exited the freeway to one of the streets to lead them to the funeral home. So maybe a few more minutes had passed because I think he said they was like 5 minutes away, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, let me call again to see. And he was saying that they were trying to figure out which way to get inside the gate because they have gates in the front of the funeral home and those were locked. So you had to turn down the street to turn into the parking lot. So of course, if you're not familiar with this area, you would either pass the funeral home up and have to go down and make a U-turn and all that shit. So he was trying to figure out how to get inside. In the midst of this, and me saying that I'm gonna call to find out where they are, my brother's wife tells me, "No, Keisha, it's okay. You don't have to call." Why wouldn't I call? My nephew is a pallbearer, and my brother needs to be here. Bitch, are you crazy? And everybody telling me Keisha called to, see what they at. So we got in line, and once my nephew said they was outside, I'm gonna call her Batwoman. She went flying out the door to go and see where they was or whatever. And mind you, my other brother that was with my nephew, he's a little older and his hair is thinning on top. So I'm guessing, usually how he wears his hair. I don't talk to this brother either. I guess he decided to just put on a do-rag, or maybe he wears hats when he's in Minnesota. I'm not sure. So she went to see if they were coming in or coming in, and then she seen that he had on a do-rag. And I guess apparently they must have bought him a hat and didn't give him the hat the day that they gave him his dress clothes. So she ran back outside to go get the hat out of their car to give to him to put on. And as soon as she came back in the line, because she was in front of me, and I had to tell her, it's okay. Calm the fuck down, basically, because you all in an uproar for nothing. So I think that's kind of like where she felt like I was being disrespectful. I was not being disrespectful. I'm just telling you to calm down because you're trying to control everything like you always do. This day is not even about you, but you pretty much made this day about you. And when I tell y'all, she is loud as fuck. Like when I say loud as fuck, like I mean, you know how people in the country sit on their front porch and yell across the street to their neighbor, "Hey!" This is her constantly yelling for no fucking reason. And she's a hypocrite. She's a Bible thumper hypocrite. She always want to throw God in the mix. Okay. So the service start, and now keep in mind too, I'm the only sister, and I'm the baby. So everybody remembers me as little Keisha because in my grown years, I haven't seen a lot of these people. So people passed me by like they didn't know who I was because, well, of course they didn't know who I was because Keisha, little Keisha, is not so little anymore. I'm grown, you know. So the service was not soul shaking. Of course, like you know how when you go to most services, especially for us, it's a celebration. There was nothing celebratory, you know, about this service. I wasn't moved to tears. I wasn't shake. You know how you get that rock or that shake? None of that. So, because the service was over so quickly, we had to be our gate time was at 1:30, meaning they have slots starting in the morning, and I think it's for like 30 minutes. You get 15 to 30 minutes at the grave to do the the ceremony there. So we got there early and we had to wait for our slot, and also we had to wait for one of the ladies that had the documentation from the VA or whoever. It was like a nice little por- portfolio, and it was a nice you know presentation of the flag and all that. But my brother, I'm gonna say his name. My brother's name is Tim. Tim had a friend named Darnell. That was his best friend. That was also a neighbor that lived right around the corner from him, and they also worked together. So he has been a great help to my other brother and his wife with getting them the information who to get in contact with to get things done, especially when it came to the job and the mortgage company, HOA, all them people, you know. And it's like I again never met this man, and he was just like he heard so much about me. I had to ask him, me being me, I could be a little sarcastic and funny sometimes. So I had to ask this man. He was like, I heard great things. No, he was like, I heard about you. I was like, was it good? Was it bad? Indifferent? And he was like, a little bit of all three. And I was like, well, please start with the bad because I want to know what it is that was so bad about me that my brother chose not to have a relationship with me. So he said, we'll talk later. No, no, I think he answered me and said that my brother said I had an attitude problem and I was always trying to control things. I told this man in his face while still shaking his hand was, that's true. That's very believable and very true. However, that was the old me was really bad. My attitude was really bad. I didn't give a fuck. I had no filter. But now as I've gotten older, I do have some control issues. However, I'm accepting it and working on it as best as I can because it's just like, when you want things done a certain way, you're gonna if somebody else can't do it, you gonna have to do it. You know? Now, as far as my attitude really depends on the situation or who I'm dealing with. I'm sweet as pie until I'm not. So I told him, we'll, because he pulled me to the side at the gravesite and he was trying to talk to me or whatever. But we had to disperse really quickly because they had just had another service right before we got there, and then they had another one right after us. So I told him, I was like, we'll talk more at the repast. And we sat at the same table. Well, he was already sitting at the table. So I just politely took it upon myself to go sit at this table, whatever, because he said he wanted to talk. So, it was me, my wife, my niece, my other brother, one of my cousins, my nephew, his son, and my brother's best friend. We're all sitting at a table, eating, chit chatting, and you know, Darnell made it plain and clear that he knew my brother's final wishes. My brother gave him instructions on what to do in case anything happened to him. So he started talking to me and telling me, some information, and I was like, "Well, no, wait a minute, let me stop you right there. Uh, let's go outside and talk. I'm gonna get my brothers, and we'll meet you outside." When I tell you we got outside, and well, before I could even go outside, my brother's wife was like, "Oh, you finna go, Keish?" And all I said was, "No." That's all I said. I said, "No. I just want to have a conversation with my brother." That's all I said. I wasn't mean. I wasn't snort. I wasn't none of that. I wasn't snappy. But I guess when she seen me and my brother, followed by our other brother, because my other brother asked, he was like, where y'all going? What's up? What's going on? And all I did was this head motion and told him, come on. I ain't have time to delay. So we go outside and we standing like right out in the like parking lot area, kind of sort of parking lot sidewalk area. And before the dude Darnell could say anything, here come my brother wife flying out the door. If me and I don't know if she's seen Darnell get up and leave or not, but either way it go, if I told my brother I wanted to have a conversation with him, and you see that my other brother is coming as well, that was a private conversation that didn't include you. So you made it over to where we were standing, and I looked at her and I was like, well, Darnell wants to only speak with the siblings. Y'all know what this bitch told me? This bitch told me I'm his better half and I'm going to be here. I said, and when I tell y'all, I was so calm when I said this. I said, my better half is sitting inside and not out here. Well, I'm his better half. I'm staying. I politely stopped talking and walked off. I went and got her daughter, thinking that her daughter could help deter her from, because this man need to get this information to us for a reason. He was leaving to go on vacation for 4 months, and he wanted to get it done as quick as possible, right? So it turned into, because like when I walked back in, everybody was looking at me, talk to my niece, asking her can she come and get her mom. So my family don't play. So my aunt got up, my other aunt got up, my cousin got up. By now, by me walking in here and getting my niece, done cleared the room. Everybody outside. That was not my intention. My intention was to try to gain control of the situation so that this man could tell us this important information. All while I went back inside, I was talking to my other brother because he came in there to look for me, to check on me. Not my brother with the wife, the other brother that lives in Minnesota. So we standing there having a conversation, and I'm telling him basically like, you were standing there and you witnessed everything. I did not disrespect this lady, right? This lady said I disrespected her. Bitch, how? When? What did I say? What did I do? All because I said that my better half is inside. That's disrespectful? How? And I mean, it's like this narrative she made in her head in that very short period of time, like a true narcissistic person does. I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. So by now, of course, everybody's all up in a rah rah roar situation. So I told my wife, I said, baby, we finna go. I said, let me go and get Darnell's phone number so that I can have a conversation with him based on, because he got up and spoke at the service, the expressions, and he was talking directly to me and told me, if I needed somebody to talk to or whatever, he would be there or whatever, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, well, let me get this man's information, contact information, in some kind of way or another. I never quite made it over there because my family was stopping me from going over there. So it's like, okay, all of it's kind of like a blur, but it's not a blur. It's like some pieces that I can't put together because I don't remember. I don't know what happened because I went back inside. So in between that time, me going back inside having a conversation with my other brother, and me coming back outside, I don't know what happened. So by now, my brother is in his vehicle, and I don't know if he was ready to go or whatever. But all you see is this bat woman flying back and forth, talking shit, talking loud. So once I finally make it over to Darnell, because my wife had got his phone number, but I was going to talk to him and just tell him, I'll be in touch, blah blah blah. So mind you, my brother is in the car to the left of me, and Darnell is standing like in the middle, and I'm talking to him, and it's just like, okay, here come Batwoman. I didn't hear her say get away from my car because, again, my purpose of going over there was to talk to Darnell. I didn't hear her until she got up close to me talking shit, saying something about, I'm ready to go before I set it off, and looking at me. Excuse me? And I say, I think I said, I can set it off too, or something to that extent. Now, mind you, too, y'all, I'm not a violent person. I don't condone violence unless you're defending yourself. Yourself, your spouse, your children. I don't condone violence. So it's just like, for her to basically threaten me and look me dead in my eye of setting it off, my wife had already told me before we left home to leave Lil Tunchi, that's what we call, the pew pew, at home because I wasn't gonna need it. I should have put it in my purse. I should have. Not saying I was gonna use it. Who knows what I was gonna do. However, you can catch these hands though, you know. So it was just when I tell y'all, it was a whole big ordeal. So we spent about, I want to say, 2 hours maybe. Everybody is over here in bunches, But in the midst of, I remember, because one somebody said, Keisha, you ain't take no pictures, because everybody know Keisha will take pictures and capture the moment, even if it's fucked up like it was. So I took pictures or whatever. I didn't get the picture like I normally get with me and my two brothers or my brothers together because of the situation this stupid bitch done caused. So I was just like, it is what it is. So it all boiled down to an agreement of, so my brother that was in the car that was with his wife, apparently told her that enough was enough. She acting a fool was enough. And they say she just kept carrying on and was loud. And basically like, fuck what my brother is saying. And he taking my side. Ain't nobody taking my side because I didn't disrespect you. I wasn't loud with you. I really feel like I handled myself in this situation accordingly, decent and in order. But baby, when I tell y'all, by the time we spent those 2 hours out there between taking pictures and Darnell trying to bridge that gap of some kind of arrangement so that the siblings can have a discussion with him without my brother's wife, that shit was to no avail. So finally it was a thing of, okay, well, we'll have a conference call yesterday at 6 p.m. Now mind you, it's 4 o'clock. And we've been standing in this parking lot for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So my brother finally agreed to have a conference call. So by the time I dropped my niece off and got home, it was like right before 6 o'clock. So I gathered my self and put on my pajamas, took some medicine, and was waiting on a phone call that never came. So I text Darnell and I was like, hey Darnell, I was just checking to see if the call was going to happen or not, and if it's not today, please keep me posted as to when. Because in my mind, I remember this man said he is leaving come Monday to go on his vacation for 4 months. So Darnell winded up calling me. We stayed on the phone for over an hour, just talking, trying to figure out some kind of plan. But before we left the funeral home, he basically broke down how much the policy was, how much the funeral was, and what my brother left to who. Now, mind you, he didn't have a will, none of the sort. So this is basically his living will, walking, talking right here, telling everything. He's not getting nothing out of this, so why would this man have a reason to lie to us or be so involved? You know? So by the time I got off the phone with him, he was just like, can you please? He was like, I know you don't want to. He was like, but can you please make a group text with your brothers and your brother wife and include my wife as well, so it won't be no feelings of we didn't want her in the conversation. And I did just that. Now this is about 9 p.m. last night. I sent a group text. This bitch immediately says, don't text me. No, don't talk to me. Don't text me. Remove me from this group. The petty me did not remove her from the group. My message did not warrant a response like that. But of course you're still mad and feel like my brother took my side. Bitch, you're married into this family. You could be divorced today or tomorrow, and I'm going to always be his sister. Just know that. He should have left your ass a long time ago. Truth be told. But anyway, my brother, I had to tell her I would rather have my brother respond to me versus you. Because, again, you're married into this family and you take control over everything. But you're not going to take control of this situation. Now, granted, my brother left his house and his vehicle to my brother and his wife. Again, I don't know what this man had in his house, in the bank account. I don't know. I didn't ask for anything. The only thing I did ask for when I talked to my brother last week was, can I get a lawnmower? Because we got we got a house now. So, and a weed eater possibly. That's it. That's all I asked for. Because y'all already got a lawnmower and a weed eater in y'all garage. So what y'all need with another one? Just like y'all really and truly don't need another vehicle because y'all already have 4 vehicles. And your daughter has a vehicle. So that's total 5 vehicles that y'all have between the 3 of y'all. I mean, granted, yes, if the car would have been paid off, it would have been nice to have a second vehicle, for us, the Browns. However, it didn't work out that way. That's fine. Baby, y'all can have that bill on that car. Y'all can have that bill on that house note, too. Who finna pay $2,200 for a house note? No. I love where our little cushion rent is right now. Y'all can have and do whatever y'all see fit. But also, Darnell was filling me in on all type of information, saying that my brother had the insurance on the house, that, it's something called POD, paid upon death, or something like that, or something. And again, I don't know how none of this works because I'm not a homeowner. But clearly he knows. And he was giving, like me and my family, there was a group over here, he was giving us all this information because we were standing around just chit-chatting. So the night progressed on with text messages, and I guess the more I either wasn't saying or when I did respond, she didn't like my responses. And the bitch even went as far as to say that my brother hated me. Oh, he hated me. He didn't want me in his house when he was alive. He definitely doesn't want me in his house when he's gone. I text back and told her that she could not speak on the dead nor the alive because you didn't talk to him. You would only text him on Sundays, something about church, Bible scriptures and shit like that. Again, this fake ass Bible thumper hypocrite. So I guess she must have went there and told my brother that I was waiting on a response from him. He responded saying that he would take care of our brother finances from here on out and to contact him directly. Yeah, no. So I politely typed up a text message and yeah, that ended the night. I removed his bitch ass wife from the group. Sat here, laid there in the bed and talked to my wife until we went to sleep because she had to get up and go to work today. But I also did talk to my other brother that's from Minnesota. And we talked for a long time. And, it never ceased to amaze me that when you're living your life how you see fit, people are always judgmental. People are uneducated when a simple conversation can be had. So the brother in Minnesota, nobody, let me just make this plain and clear. Nobody condones my marriage to a woman. And that's fine. But what does me being married to a woman have to do with me as a person? Me as your sister? Me as your niece? Me as your cousin? Absolutely nothing. You're not feeding me. You're not financing me. You're not fucking me. What I do in my life, in my home, should be no reason for you to not like a family member. So I had to educate my brother really quick last night. Because we have not spoken, I want to say, since 2018 or 19 or 20, I can't remember. When me and Bae went on a turnaround trip to New Orleans, and I had posted a picture, and this particular brother decided to get on Facebook under my post saying how I'd never been raped and this, and if I had, they would have protected me from it. Basically, he feel like I'm in a cult. So I had to ask him, so it was okay for me to be with a man that put his hands on me, to constantly cheat on me, for me to be unhappy? Now, granted, I'm not saying all men are the same, but there's a pattern with a lot of men. You could be good to them, they're going to still lie to you. They're going to still cheat on you. Not saying women don't do the same thing. but men got it worse. I had to tell my brother, I I don't look at necessarily gender. I just look at the way my heart feels. If I'm happy, do you think I'm gonna stay in a situation where I'm not happy? Like, I was married before to a fucking narcissist, alcoholic person. I chose me and my happiness and walked away. You don't think I have the common sense to do it again if need be? Y'all, when I tell you, funerals and weddings bring out the worst in people, it's so tragic and it's tiresome, mentally, physically, emotionally draining. I was not sounding and feeling like this yesterday. I just think because of all of the extra shit that went on, it set my body into this. And I'm just like, okay. I had a fucked up vacation and went to work for a few days. Now we done did the services and now I'm sick. Hopefully I'll feel better sooner than later because I don't go back to work until Friday. But still, I don't want to spend my vacation sick. I mean, my days off, my bereavement days off sick. I done pretty much, I've washed my hands with my brother because you're allowing your wife to control you, manipulate you. You don't come around family unless she can come, and you already know that we don't like her, so he don't even bother to come. It's sad, like my brother would randomly send me money here and there without me even asking for anything. I would send it back, and I had to tell him that money does not replace having a relationship with you. I'm guessing that was his way of trying to say, "Hey, I love you," but from a distance. That's not what I want. If our mom was still here, none of this shit would be happening. None of it. And it's just sad. Like once the matriarchs of the family pass on, everything seems to go to shambles no matter how much you try to keep it together. Be in contact. Plan gatherings. Nothing seems to work. And I get it. Everybody have their own life path that they take. They make their own decisions for their life. You should love your family members with God's love no matter what. We was all raised in the church. So it's like I don't know, y'all. It's just tragic and terrible. I hate that 2025 ended on this type of note. But my life is gonna go on with or without my brother or brothers. Because by me having that one conversation with my brother from Minnesota, it's not gonna change his outlook on anything because he's an alcoholic and he has, mental issues. He just haven't been right since he was in the military. And I mean, I can't sit here and yeah, I can say that. Yeah, and I'm gonna say it. I'm pretty much the sane one out of my siblings because I don't have a problem like addiction where I drink so much or do drugs. I'm not married to somebody that's making me miserable and unhappy. I I think I pretty much got my life under a good wraps right now, because I know what I will and won't tolerate, or what I won't deal with. You know, you can't stay too comfortable in a situation, and that's where I think my brother that's married is. He's been in this situation for all these years, and now it's like he don't know how to get out. If you got a plan, put it in place and move on. But because his wife is a money hungry, I ain't gonna say whore because I don't know if she's cheated on him or not, but she's a money hungry witch, bitch. And it's just like, you have nothing. You have no job. The house and the cars all came from my brother. You have no source of income coming in this house. Unless you're scamming people. I don't know. She's always trying to make a quick buck off of somebody else. And it's been like this for years. But again, yeah, you could judge people, but why? Like, okay, I know what you about. I'm gonna just stay the fuck away from you. I don't have to interact with you. I don't have to do none of that. That's what I can do for me. But when you constantly try to insert yourself into everything and don't see you have a problem, that's the problem. And then now turn around next week after New Year, January the 4th, the day that our mom passed. And my other brother is going to be here. So I don't know if. I don't even. I'm going to just do what I normally do. I go to the gravesite every year and put flowers down. And I'm going to do that. And keep it pushing. Because I wanted. It would have been nice to have my brothers there at the gravesite. Both, now that they're both home. But I'm not doing that. I'm just going to continue. My wife says me saying I'm protecting my peace is avoidance. It's not avoidance. My tolerance is just very low for bullshit and drama, especially manufactured drama. I don't have time for that. I'm only 46 years old. I really want to live a very long time so I can see my children's children grow up. I'm not finna sit and stress about nothing that is out of my control. It's not worth it. Because I guarantee if I die today or tomorrow, this bitch life gonna go on. My brother's gonna continue to be miserable. And that's just gonna be what it is. You know? I know y'all, I don't usually open up about things like this. But it finally needed to be said. Because when I tell you, I could sit and do videos for days about the family drama. But I'm not going to, after this video, I'm not going to put too much more into it. If you have any positive words of feedback or prayers, do so in the comments. But please keep the negativity away from me. Because I will delete your comment and block you. But that's been my Keisha talk for today. I probably won't be back until after the New Year with another video. So, Happy New Year. Love on those that genuinely love on you. Stay blessed. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. Bye, guys.